Hey everybody, it's Peg from Living There. Today we have a new interview. I'm very excited for you to meet Darrell from South Alabama. Darrell has a YouTube channel called Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle. I love the name, love it. And Fire, I believe, stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, something like that. So if you're interested in retiring early or learning about money, Darrell is your guy. Check out his YouTube channel, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But first, before Darrell's interview, we're going to put a pin on the map in South Alabama. And South Alabama is, let's see, here's Georgia, here's Alabama. So I'm just going to put a pin in the southern part of Alabama, right there. Now we're going to meet Darrell.
What first brought you to the area where you live? I am retired, and I retired from the state of Maryland as a federal government employee. I retired to South Alabama, where it was 30% less to live. I looked it up many years before I retired, and every year for 5 years before I moved here, I came here once a year looking for a place to live. And I also looked online to compare which states charged you for pensions, charged taxes on their pensions, and which states did not. When I did this, there were 13 states that did not tax your government pension. And also, my wife is on a government pension. I'm on a federal pension. She's on the state of Maryland pension. So that's two pensions where we are not getting charged state tax for the rest of our lives. Also, at the age of 65, I no longer have to pay property taxes in the state of Alabama. What's something you love about living there? What I love about living here in South Alabama is, one, the weather. I can ride my motorcycle for charity and just for fun down to the beach for any given period of time. And also, I can go fishing. I love to fish and I love to ride my motorcycle. So Alabama gives me more time of the year than Maryland to ride my motorcycle and go fishing. Also, something that is underrated down here in the South is the safety. I bought a house on 8 acres of land. I don't see my neighbors. I don't see people going up and down the road. I have complete privacy in the backyard of my home, and I'm free to go out there and just walk around my yard and not be bothered. I recently bought another 3 acres where I put a mobile home, which is what I'm in right now, an RV. Something that feels special and maybe underrated here in South Alabama is the safety. I love the safety of living out here in the country. It's not the hustle and bustle of city life where you worry about crime or you worry about somebody stealing your car or something like that. Now, if I lived in town, I would have to worry about that. But I live on 8 acres of land a little bit outside of town, sort of what they call in the county. And so in the county where I live, there are no rules. You do what you want to do on your land. You can dig a pond if you want to on your land. I could make a pond in my backyard because I have a creek running through my backyard, and I can go fishing in my own pond in my own backyard. There's nothing I love more than fishing and riding my motorcycle, as I mentioned earlier. The hardest and most surprising thing about living here is the heat. I was not expecting this level of heat in the middle of the summer. That does make it hard. Also, I also didn't realize that buying 8 acres of land and having about 3 or 4 acres that are cleared and maybe 5 acres of woods, that I have to pay someone because I'm allergic to cut grass. I can't be out there mowing 3 acres of grass. So that was a very surprising thing, that I have to pay someone almost the cost of my mortgage to mow my grass, but it looks like a golf course when he's done. So that part is fabulous. Some of the expenses down here in Alabama, which I mentioned are 30% less than they were in Maryland, such as food, clothing, gas, all of those things are less expensive. What's surprising in South Alabama is electricity is more expensive. And I think that it has to do with the level of heat that we have down here. We have the AC units running full blast in the summer, and that will run up your electric bill. Also, I am on well water on my land, so I have a separate electric pump, which is a separate electric bill to my house, and that is another thing that adds expenses to my electric bill. If someone were thinking of moving to South Alabama like I did, I would tell them to invest in rental properties like I did. I started buying rental properties here in Alabama when I still lived in Maryland. So these were relatively low-cost properties based on the income that I had in Maryland. Also, I teach online as a college professor, so I was able to bring my income that I had in Maryland here with no change in income. So I'm making a really good salary being retired with a side hustle down here in South Alabama. So if you can bring an online job with you to South Alabama, do that, because one, you can buy rental properties and have those rental properties bring you an income, but also you can have your side hustle still give you the same income that you had in a high cost of living area in a low cost of living area. So in short, what that means is I gave myself a 30% pay raise when I moved down here to Alabama. Also, I am taking Social Security this year. So I am going to increase the amount of stable income that I have. So I have my pension, I have Social Security, then I have rental income, and I have my adjunct college teaching income. So that's at least 4 streams of income that I have in a low cost of living area. And my car is paid off. I have a 2.6% interest rate on my primary residence. So my payments are very, very low. The last surprising thing I'm going to tell you about is that the bank did not want to give me a loan on my primary residence when I was moving from Maryland to Alabama. When you're retired, banks do not want to loan you money. I did not know that. So they made me put down 45% on my primary residence. I was very upset. However, it turned out to be a fabulous thing because my payments are very low for the rest of my life. Thank you for joining me in this video about where I live.
Thanks so much, Darrell, for your interview. I find it really interesting. It sounds like you have a very creative way for your retirement, and I think it's fascinating. I love watching your videos, and I hope others here will check out your channel. Again, it's Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle. And if anyone else is interested in being interviewed for Living There, this channel, please contact me. My email is in the description below. And check out Darrell's channel and let me know if you would like to be interviewed. I'd love it. I think it's fascinating to see where we're getting pins in the map. We've got Kate in Indonesia, Love to see some more people who live abroad, not just in the US. We have John in the Pacific Northwest. You can check out his video. I talked a little bit about living in the Southwest desert, like the climate, the animals and plants here. And now we have South Alabama represented by Darrell. And it'll be interesting to see who's next. I hope it's you, letting us know how it is living where you do. Thanks so much for watching. And please hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and like this video. And be sure to check out Darrell and his YouTube videos on his channel. And I will see you next time.